Hi everyone, this is Mthetwa and welcome to the ABCPIANO website. On this video, we are talking all things about the ABC website. And there's no other person befitting for this except the owner of the website, Mr. SiyaNqoba Mthetwa, musical director, producer, and such a genius. Yes, sir. How are you?
Very good. How are you, man?
I'm good. I'm so glad to get to speak to you about this because we've never spoken about it.
Yeah.
I just want to get quickly into how did ABCPIANO come about. But before that, tell us quickly about your background.
Wow. Okay. As you have mentioned, my name is SiyaNqoba Mthetwa, born and bred in KZN, in a place called Esikhaweni. That's where I come from. So basically, my upbringing was very musical because of a Christian background. My father is a pastor. So I grew up at church, and I grew up being exposed to a lot of singing, a lot of music. I remember I was 5 years old. Also, my father was a choir conductor at school. So he would bring this thing you call a melodica at home. From school, basically, because he would conduct a choir there. So I was very interested in this thing. I don't know why, because I was so young. I mean, at 5 years old, your interest should be toys and things like that. But with me, funny enough, I was interested in that specific thing. Until my father decided to show me, because he could see the interest in me. So I started learning. I remember till today, it's like as clear as anything. I started learning the C major scale from my dad. From then, I started figuring things out by myself. I would watch TV. I watched a lot of gospel gold growing up because I wanted to learn the way they play the songs. I wanted to try it out on the melodica. And believe it or not, I mean, at my church back home, there was no musical instrument. So to me, that melodica was a musical instrument. So I would literally take it, put a pipe on it, and play it. Whether people could hear what's coming out of that thing or not.
You were happy.
Yeah. And lucky for me, I had very supportive parents growing up. They cheered me on. They wanted me to play more and more. And I got motivated at a young age. Fast forward, I started playing with community bands, community groups. We would do a lot of gospel music, play at weddings, play at funerals, and so on, without getting any payment for it, just because I loved it. Then after matric, I told my parents, I want to study music. This is what I want to do. Then I went to study music. I did my qualification in music. From then on, I went then professionally. As you have seen some of the work I've done out there.
Yeah. So now tell me, with such a journey, how did you come about? Which point in your life did you say ABCPIANO? I'm sure it's not the name that came first. Like, what was the process of building the website, and also how did the name come about?
Okay, so I'll tell a brief story. Before ABCPIANO, I was doing one-on-one classes, which were not online at all. It was just because I had a passion of giving back, of imparting something. When I learned music, unfortunately for us who grew up in a black background, there was no music as a curriculum in our schools, in primary schools and so on. So I had to find knowledge on the streets, find it on television, find it. I remember my first formal education when it comes to music was at grade 11, and that was already too late. You should be able to start off at a very young age because that's when your mind grasps things fresh. So I had to look for information, and it was a frustrating process for me because I know I want to do that, but there's something I should be doing, but I'm not doing it early enough. I have to really look for information from God knows where. But because I was passionate enough, I found music there and there. I found information where I needed it. And as I do that, I feel even now, even where I am, I feel I could have learned so much more if I had started earlier. You understand? And understandably so, as a black community, it's not everything that is accessible to us. Things like that, if you go to private schools, these things are very expensive where you have music. So where the passion comes from, it's basically me wanting to share the knowledge I've acquired over the years. And really, at next to nothing.
Yeah.
For me, the main goal is to share and impart information, almost past the baton. What I'm doing now, I worked very hard for it. I had to hustle hard, to become who I am now.
Yeah.
And I want to share that with someone.
Yeah.
I want to share it with an aspiring musician, with an aspiring pianist, with an aspiring singer, because I know what it takes to hustle, to look for information and you can't find it.
Yeah.
So this is, for me, is a medium that I'm creating that's going to be accessible to us as a nation that needs it the most, and to really change your life. Some of us also, we have conditions where we are not that smart when it comes to schoolwork and so on, but we are extremely gifted. You understand? So platforms like this should make you feel like it's okay to become a creative, to become an artist, to become a singer. So that's where really this concept came from. It started off as a one-on-one piano teaching platform, and then as I go along, I saw that I'm not really penetrating enough ground as I would want to. The best way to do it is the online space, because then it reaches worldwide. So the name ABC Piano, we were looking for a simple name to use so that anyone can really relate to the name. ABC Piano came to mind. Even a child can relate to ABC Piano.
Okay, so I'm interested to know, for a person like me, I also started piano very early, and somewhere along the way I got interested in other things. I decided to go to engineering and blah 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 blah, and then later on I find myself doing jobs like musical direction, and they, for some reason, yes, you are able to impart knowledge and expand yourself as much as you can in terms of production. However, though, there are certain things that are sort of like limitations if you have not really gotten like the background, the basics, and then intermediate, and you do like the whole process like everyone. How does your website help a person who's at that point to be able to go back, start from scratch, and rebuild so that they become a better producer or a music maker?
With the site, what I've done, I've really simplified things as much as possible. Because once you get to the top, the thing is that it'll probably take you another 3-4 years to go back and learn the things you're supposed to learn. So what I've done is I've simplified it so that it's easier for you to understand where it comes from and what's the right direction to pursue. From piano playing to the vocal lessons that we did, it's all about going back to the things that you were supposed to learn from the beginning. You understand? So this goes for anyone. You can be the biggest superstar, but you need
the basics.
You need the foundation. The foundation has to be there. It builds your character also as a singer, so that you find spaces where, if, for example, you are a big artist and people want to know how you got there, you can't even explain yourself, or people are seeing you doing these amazing things, and you come to a foreign country, someone asks you, so what key are your songs in? You can't even answer that basic question. You see, so information makes it's literally the key. Education is key to the whole world. Once you have the language, then you can open any door wherever you want to do. So the background for me is everything. Build from a good, solid foundation, then everything else comes easy.
So my last question would be, for a person who's never seen the website and who doesn't know what purpose does it serve, what would you say are the key things that one person would find there, and also how important is it for them to subscribe and to acquire this benefit?
It's very important. And like I said, I built my curriculum sort of based on experiences, on the difficulties that I found. So I took those things and I made them accessible. So it's very important to know those things, because for example, it's easy for you to copy a Rebecca Malope or someone and sing like them. But after that, what then? You understand? The gift is a given, but you have to sharpen it. You have to work on it. You have to drill it until it comes to a point where you can stand with your Beyoncés, with whoever of this world. Confidence, it builds confidence. So my site is sort of built to help you understand everything you need to know to prepare you for the professional world, and also to work on your skill, to sharpen your skill as much as possible, because I go into the most practical things that you'll use anywhere you go. It's not just focused on gospel music. It's also circular, you know. So anything you need related to music, the site will help you. If you want to be a pianist / producer and so on, you will have that content on the site. So it's very important to subscribe based on those things that I've included there.
Guys, I think you've heard it all from the man himself. I think it is important that you subscribe to this website. This is the type of information that you would have to sit with this man to be able to acquire. But he's made it easy for us. He's put it online. So get in there, take your lessons, become a better singer, become a better instrumentalist, and make sure that you put in the work to become, if not better than him, just as good as he is. All right. So I hope to see you soon, and keep subscribing, keep practicing until you cannot stop practicing. See you soon.